Since the wood it was made from was worth somewhere around about £10,000, does the bucket full of shavings have the same value? Welcome to Crimson Guitars, welcome to the Kauri build. This is the first of two builds where I am taking a chunk of 42,000-year-old New Zealand Swamp Kauri and turning them into guitars. Now, this first one is based on a Jazzmaster Acoustasonic, albeit with an F-hole and a lot more going on. It's going to be, it's all in the fine details, isn't it? But this is a hollow guitar. Now, what I have got here is a chunk of wood that, if parted out into tops, would sell for in the order of, I don't know, £7,000 to £10,000. I need a hollow body. I am about to make £7,000 to £10,000 worth of sawdust. And there's just no other way to do it. Let's get our route on, shall we? Burn it. Perfect! Okay, initially that there is going to be the great route bath, taking a lot of that material away. I'm then going to take this insert out, and you can buy this template set at Crimson Guitars if you like. I'm going to take that insert out, and then this will be the little lip on which the top will sit. And there's the top, which will have a little bit of black veneer around the outside edge. Now, the beautiful thing about that top is when lined up, all the veneer, all the grains, sorry, lines up the flames and the figuring and all that. So that's going to be, it's going to look really cool. It's going to look really, really cool. It has to look cool. If this doesn't look cool, I'm going to be crying in a corner somewhere. Normally I would use the masking tape and super glue trick, but in this case I have got the entire outline of the guitar. I've got a lot of excess waste, so I'm just going to use screws, screw the template down. It is not necessarily safer, just a tad quicker, unless I stop and talk to a camera like now. I'm questioning my life currently. Now, routing that is going to be an issue because my router's base is only massive. But yeah, I'm going to have to put that on a chunk of wood like that. Speaking of routing, this is the beast. I've got an advanced copy of the new TRA002 from Triton. This is something that's limited release, or it's coming soon. It is coming soon to you. 3¼ horsepower with everything that I love and adore about Triton routers. I've been using the 001 in my router table and in all the router tables in the Luthier School and at Crimson for a decade or more. But things have changed since the TRA001 was first released 21 years ago, and this has got a better motor. We've got an LED light with a little on-off button. I don't know why that on-off button for the LED excites me so much, but I mean, well, there we are. But it is a beast, and we've got the inbuilt router lift, the geared adjustment, the fine adjustment, height adjustment, all that sort of stuff, and improved dust extraction. Most importantly, I am going to be able to eat this Kauri as if it doesn't exist. First of all, I need to put a bit of a router base on it. Right, before I stick this on, it's time to install a router bit, and you know, of course, it's incredibly easy. That locks it off, and we're sorted. Like, genuinely, when I first started using Triton routers, way before I had a relationship with them, it was this feature. I spent so much of my time changing bits and fiddling around inside of crappy systems. You know. I don't need to sell this to you. You already know. I could have spent another 10 minutes or so getting this absolutely so that you just put it on and slide it sideways like the actual Triton jig, but in reality I'd rather get routing. I've been putting this bit of this job off for so long now that I just want to get it over with. Yes, it is very scary routing into or cutting or doing anything to wood like this. Well, that's all good. A little bit ungainly, but yeah, necessary. Woohoo! Yeah. Now, I would normally use a pillar drill to remove as much excess material as I possibly could. This wood is so soft that that's just not necessary. The router is just gonna do away with it all. It feels weird also not leaving a section of material underneath the bridge, but this is more akin to an acoustic guitar with bracing and a pin through bridge. So yeah, feels naughty, but is actually part of the plan. That's about there. I was gonna leave about a 10mm back on this because of the well, because of how soft the timber is, but also I need to then route from the other side the back plates and get those recessed, etc. So this, it's serendipity. It's worked. I'll shut up and start routing. I will shut up, stop procrastinating, and start cutting material. Time for some isotune entertainment. Something loud. I have no idea what I'm going to do with this, but hey. All right, let's change the depth. I don't have my LED on, do I? There we go. I'm going to cut another sort of, say, 6 or 7 millimeters, and go down slowly. Well, that's a start, isn't it? All right, so next up I need to route a little bit of a lip for the top to go in, and I don't want that to be particularly deep. We could actually start it just with this rectangular shape, and that would look pretty cool. So at this stage, I'm absolutely delighted with how this has gone. The grain matches up beautifully. I do need to put in my my veneer accent piece. I think that without a hard line there, you would still see the glue joint, and you would know that there was a glue joint there, and you're like, why is there a glue joint there? Whereas with the veneer in there, it accents the whole thing and just makes it look like it was designed that way, which it was. I need to finalize the shape, and I'm not going to do that on a router. This is fairly delicate, and you saw I was taking the smallest passes I could. It's fairly delicate. I'm going to bandsaw out the final shape and then use a spindle sander to get to that, and that'll be over in the student machine shop of our guitar building school. And I also need to route a few shapes into the back. But first of all I need to go and just find a quiet space to just breathe and listen to some calm music. Gang of Youths. I need to put in a couple of braces and a bridge plate. Here's my neck blank, and I think I'm going to run on that center, well, use that as a center line. Means I need to glue an extra piece on there, which is fine, but also I have got some excess wood that I can use to make my 2 braces. So yeah, chop that off, glue that on there, and cut 2 of these off and go from there. This is the definition of overkill, but you know what? I don't care. So these pieces are all wedge shaped, and I need them to match up. So I mean, there's only a slight difference, 0.5 millimeter at most, but you will probably still see that. But yeah, well, there we go. So that came off like that. Flip it around, and we got the same sort of feel. There we go, that'll do. Now before I glue those down, I want to bevel the back edge of this sound hole. It's not necessary, may not even be advisable on such a soft timber, but from the outside it's going to look like a much more delicate instrument when I'm done. This top is so cross-grained, whatever I do feels and looks awkward. So you see how much more delicate that now looks than the edge. Oh, for example, there you go, you got the edge of the pickup route. So using a stick, I try and take away as much excess glue as possible, and after that it's a damp rag. I don't want things to get too wet, but yeah, needs must. With that gluing up, it's time to go back to the machine shop and cut the excess away. Use a spindle sander. Ha! Spindle router, scary things. Spindle sander to finalize the shape of my guitar, and there'll be a little bit more routing, but in this one session the guitar is properly coming together as a guitar. Well, what we've ended up with is most of a guitar. My bracing is glued in, my top is cut out, it is recessed, the F-holes are made and sorted and nice and good and done. The body is hollow. We're ready to glue the top in, almost, I suppose. Once that's done, I'm undecided, but I do need to route a couple of cavities into the back of this, and that'll be in the next video. I've roughed the shape out on the sander, and we're good to go. Please click like, please subscribe, please let me know what you think of this build and what you want to see us do next. For now, I'm going to say goodbye, good night. Looking at this image, the editor's going to have to smoosh it in because that looks like I'm a million miles away. Hey, what can you do? Bye-bye.